I want to focus on a gold project developing company, Vista Gold, and the spotlight is on Mount Todd in Australia, which has long been seen as a sleeping giant. But with a redesigned mine plan and a new development strategy, Vista Gold says it's ready to wake it up. Joining me now is Vista Gold CEO Fred Earnest, who's been leading the charge on reimagining Mount Todd as a capital-efficient, partnership-ready project. Fred, thanks very much indeed for talking to us.
Thank you for having me this morning, Devin.
Well, let's start with the big picture. Vista's owned Mount Todd for nearly 2 decades. What makes now the right time to push ahead with this new feasibility study?
Well, certainly we have a new gold price environment, and that's changing a lot of things. But what we're doing with Mount Todd is really a paradigm shift. The resource base is almost 10 million ounces, and we've for years thought of Mount Todd as a very large project. Recently, and with the announcement of the start of the feasibility study in December, we're evaluating it at a size that's about 30% of what we've thought of it before. And this translates into capital cost savings, opportunities to build and develop the project more efficiently and quicker. So we think that this is all of this rolls together with the gold price environment to make Mount Todd a lot more exciting today.
Yeah, it's interesting you're mentioning the study. The updated study takes a different approach, scaling back throughput, rising the cutoff grade, and reducing capital intensity. Can you walk us through that shift and what it says about Vista's strategy today?
Yeah, so like I mentioned, previously we evaluated Mount Todd and promoted Mount Todd as a 50,000 ton per day operation, 17.5 million tons per annum. We're now evaluating a 15,000 ton per day operation, or 5.2 million tons per annum project. And obviously the scale is important. It has a direct impact on the capital costs of the project. We're targeting a 60% reduction in the capital cost to develop Mount Todd in this new study. And yet with, you mentioned higher cutoff grade, we're targeting a reserve grade of 1 gram per ton. We believe that roughly 5 million ounces at a gram per ton will be much more favorably received in the market than the previous reserve of 7 million ounces at 0.77 grams per ton. And at the same time, we're able to produce, the new study projects that gold production will be in the range of 150 to 200,000 ounces of gold per year over a mine life that's in excess of 25 years. So this is a new way of looking at Mount Todd, and certainly the lower capex we think will make a huge difference.
Yeah, must have been a lot of decision making with the mix of some innovations coming through. What were those that really helped achieve that dramatic cut when you sat down and spoke about it?
Well, certainly, there's just reducing the size. You have smaller equipment, you have less equipment that you need to purchase. One of the strategic decisions that's been made in looking at this smaller project is, we think that the best way for us to develop Mount Todd is with a joint venture partner. And at the large scale, well, let's be honest, there's 6 or 8 companies that can write billion-dollar checks to develop projects. But by reducing the capital, we have a much larger pool of companies that we believe would be interested in a partner relationship for Mount Todd. And that's been a big strategic decision. The flow sheet is essentially the same. Equipment sizes are smaller. But one of the changes we've made is that we'll be using contract mining. And this is very commonly done in Australia. It's not something that we've contemplated in the past.
Now, having said all of that, permitting is often a sticking point for gold projects. Where does Mount Todd stand in terms of approvals from, let's say, the Northern Territory government? How supportive have they been? And then, of course, you've got the local community to deal with as well.
Yeah, I think we find ourselves in a very unique position and very favorable position with regards to permitting. All of the major permits for the 50,000 ton per day operation are in place. Our EIS has been approved. Our federal environmental authorization is approved. Our mine operating permit, it's now called a mining license, has been approved for the 50,000 ton per day operation. And so that we'll need to submit some modifications for a smaller operation. But given that the footprint is smaller, the impacts are less, we don't see any major obstacles toward getting those modifications approved in a very timely manner. Talking about support from the local community, you mentioned the NT government. They're very supportive of what we're doing at Mount Todd and have been for quite some time. We work very closely with them, and perhaps most importantly is the Jawoyn Aboriginal people who own the surface land in the project area. We have an outstanding relationship with them, an agreement in place. And so this is a project that's truly ready to build.
It's interesting you use that concept because I read about you saying that before, ready to build. But is Vista looking for a joint venture partner? Now, you did mention this earlier on, but I'm just wondering if you can add some texture to the partnership here. What are you looking at?
Well, we have for a long time looked at and evaluated the transaction, the joint venture that was formed between Goldfields and Gold Road Resources at the Gruyere project. And we hold that up as a standard of what we would like to achieve. A relationship with a company who has a proven track record of being a sound operator, an efficient operator, who has a development team in place, and someone who shares our values with regards to protection of the environment, relation with local communities, and the soft issues that are related to developing an operation.
Fred, gold discoveries are getting harder to come by, and Mount Todd sits on a massive land package with untapped potential. How important is the district scale upside to Vista's long-term plan? And are there exploration plans to back it up?
We have a total resource of about 9.4 million ounces, 7.8 million ounces of measured and indicated resource. And that's just within the boundaries of our mining license. Surrounding our mining license, we have almost 1,600 square kilometers of exploration licenses where our geologists have conducted for years grassroots exploration activities. We've identified no less than 20 gold occurrences that we've not yet drilled on any of them because we've been focused on the area around the Batman deposit. I believe that with time that there will be the discovery of at least a couple multi-million ounce deposits on the exploration licenses. We're located at the southeast end of the Pine Creek Gold District, a district that's produced gold for over 100 years. We're very optimistic about the long-term potential, and I guess the way we look at it is that Mount Todd, with the Batman deposit, this large deposit being the anchor to get things started, could be a district in and of itself. And it's really going to take the time and exploration money in the future, but we're excited about the exploration potential at Mount Todd.
Yeah, you probably summed it up there, but as I let you go, let me ask you this. I mean, your biggest message to interested investors watching this, what would it be?
Simply that with the change in thinking about Mount Todd, with this paradigm shift, we're in a position to significantly reduce the capital of the project, achieve a very strong base production rate, 150 to 200,000 ounces of gold per year, in an environment, in a jurisdiction that's very welcoming of mining. Permits are in place. We think that Mount Todd's time has come, that this is a project that certainly at this gold price, the work that we've done to overcome the technical challenges that faced the project in the past, we're excited about where we're at, our vision for the future, and what the future holds.
Well, certainly does sound compelling. Well, Vista Gold CEO Fred Earnest, thanks very much indeed for talking to us.
Thank you for having me this morning.